Welcome to E-Content Development Center of Majlis Arts and Science College, Puramannur. Myself, Renisha, Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce and Management Studies. Today, I am going to discuss about one of the most important topic of business regulation subject, which is agreement and contract. After this session, you will be able to understand what is an agreement, contract, essential elements of a contract, and classification of contract. First of all, we discuss about what is an agreement. Agreement is every promise and set of promise forming consideration for each other is an agreement. So an agreement includes an promise and promise includes an offer plus acceptance. So promise is equal to offer plus acceptance and agreement is equal to promise plus consideration. Next topic is contract. Contract is an agreement between two persons intended to create legal obligation. That is, a contract includes which an agreement plus enforceability by law. So, a contract is an agreement between two parties which is enforceable by law. So, that is a contract. Contract is equal to agreement plus enforceability by law. Next one of important topic is essential elements of a contract. Essential elements include agreement, free consent, competency, consideration, lawful object, and not declared as void. First of all, what is an agreement? Agreement defined under Section 2E of Indian Contract Act 1872. Agreement is every set of promise and promise which is forming in consideration with each other. So it includes offer plus acceptance. Next essential element is free consent. Free consent in Latin word it means consensus ad idem. It means meeting of minds. Consent is said to be free when it is not caused by coercion, undue influence, fraud and misrepresentation. Coercion means forcing someone to do an activity which is not in his favor. And undue influence is influence someone with his position. Fraud means cheating someone and misrepresentation means misrepresenting statements. Next topic is competency of contract. Competency means the mental capacity of individual. Section 11 of Indian Contract Act specifies that every party in a contract should not be a minor and should be a sound mind and not disqualified from contracting any by law. Next one is consideration. Consideration simply means something in return. It is an act or abstinence which does not mean money consideration. And next topic is lawful object. The object must not be illegal, immoral, opposed to public policy. That means the object of contract must not be illegal, immoral and opposed to public policy. So these are the 6 essential elements of a contract. Next topic is classification of contracts or types of contract. Classification on the basis of mode of formation, performance, validity or enforceability. On the mode of formation, contracts classified into express contract, implied contract, quasi-contract and e-contract. And on the basis of performance, contract classified into executive contract, bilateral contract, unilateral contract. And on the basis of validity or enforceability, contract classified into valid contract, voidable contract, unenforceable contract and illegal contracts. Firstly, on the basis of formation, contracts classified into 4. First one is express contract. Express contracts are parties entered into a contract either by orally or written or by words or spoken. Second one is implied contract. The parties entered into contract by act or conduct of their parties. Third one is quasi-contract. It is a contract imposed by law, but there is no parties have intention to create a contract at all. It is also known as constructive contract. And last one is e-contract. Contracts which are not paper based and are electronic mode are known as e-contracts. So these are the 4 classification based on formation of contract. Second classification is on the basis of performance. On the basis of performance, first one is executed contract. A contract their duties. Second one is executory contract. Executory contract means both parties or wholly or part parties obligations are outstanding. So that is a executory contract. Next one is bilateral contract or one-sided contract. When one party obligations are performed, that is bilateral contract. And unilateral contract means when both parties obligations are outstanding. And the last classification of contract is on the basis of validity and enforceability. On the basis of validity, first classification is valid contract. An agreement enforceable by law is a valid contract. It must include all essential elements of a is a contract which is not ceases to be enforced. One is voidable contract. It is defined under section 2 subsection I of Indian Contract Act 1872. Voidable contract means an agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more parties and others too. It is a voidable contract. Next one is illegal contract. Illegal contract means subject matter of contract is not authorized by law or against the law. And the last classification is unenforceable contract. Contracts which are not enforceable by law due to some technical defects, absence of registration. These contracts are unenforceable by law. So these are the classifications of contracts. Let's discuss some model questions. Question number 1. Which of the following persons are not competent to contract? Option A, persons of unsound mind. Option B, person disqualified by law. Option C, minors. Option D, all of these. The answer is option D, all of these, because we discussed earlier persons of unsound mind, persons of disqualified by law, and C, minors are not competent to contract. So all of these are the correct answer. Next question is, when the contract of a party is obtained by coercion, undue influence, fraud or misrepresentation, the contract is option A, valid, option B, voidable, option C, void, and option D, illegal. The answer is option B, voidable, because we know that a contract by parties entered into between coercion, undue influence, fraud or misrepresentation, the contract is called voidable contract. So the answer is option B, voidable contract. I hope you will understand this session. Thank you.